non-vegans, this is for y'all.
Oh,
as vegans, our food is scarce. You hear me? So when we go to y'all's house, when we go to a party and we bring something, yes, y'all can try it. You're very welcome to try it. You're very welcome, very welcome. But we need to eat too. So that is our food source. All right, good people, we are back. We're the Annoying Vegans, and we're here to provide you with perspective, validation, and laughs about the daily social situations that you will encounter. So, Alex.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm curious. Do you prefer dogs or cats?
Am I a dog person or a cat person?
Yeah.
I am definitely a dog person. Grew up with dogs, never really interacted with a cat until I was 12 or 13. So I was some people grew up with cats. I grew up with dogs. They're just, to me, it's just, they're a lot simpler. They show their emotions. They're fun. You can wrestle with them.
Wrestle?
Yeah, you can throw them around a little bit.
They
come back at you. And they just want to keep playing. They want to just have fun with you. So to me, it's I'm talking about big dogs. I'm not talking about little chihuahuas. I'm talking about big dogs. But yeah, no. Overall, I'm definitely a dog person. What about you?
Cat. I love all animals, but I'm a cat person. My cat. We're looking at my cat right now.
And her name is
Ramona. She's beautiful. She's lovely. She cuddles on me every single night. I think cats are very smart. They are a good judge of character. They know when someone's bad. Just they're empaths, and they can feel when somebody is not, when somebody's a good person or not. And if a cat likes you, you've done something right, because you have to earn it. You have to earn their love. And
the goal is to make sure a cat loves you, and you
gotta work for it.
They will not. You cannot be a bad person and a cat owner, or cats won't like you, right?
Yeah.
So no serial killer has any cats?
Unless the cat is helping with the serial killing.
Wow. So okay, all right. Well, no, I'm learning more about cats. So it's going from one end of, ew, I don't want to be around a cat, or I want to even think about cats. Cats aren't me. But also going toward okay, understanding cat behavior and what cats do and what those movements mean. And it's weird to me, but it's also kind of cool to see it in person. So yeah, I guess I like cats, but if I had a preference, it would definitely be dog.
Well, cats are fickle on whether they're social or not.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of social,
so
how do you go about going to social events where you're not sure if, or you are sure that they're not going to have any vegan options, or you're the only vegan going to be in attendance?
So we're talking parties,
work functions, family
functions, restaurants, birthday parties, type of things there. So me personally, I always go in with low expectations. I go in knowing okay, there's going to be 0 things at this place that I can eat. So if you go in with that mindset of that, I feel if there is something, it's a surprise. That's nice. Carrot sticks, I can eat that. Skip the ranch, okay, because anything white or yellow, we know vegans, we skeptical. But yeah, you go in with that, or even at a restaurant. Now at a restaurant is different, right? So restaurant, for me, I'm very much a planner or a preparer. So I like to be prepared before I go into type of social events. So I am Googling the restaurant. I'm looking to see if they do have options for me. I'm looking to see, is it just going to be fries and alcohol? Can we have more? But yeah, to me, I do try to prepare, but again, I should go in with, hey, this is not for me. This is for us. This is for social. This is for connections. This is not for me to just eat whatever I want and whatever. But what about you? Like, how do you go into social events? Do you prepare? Do you bring something with you? What is your mindset like when it comes to social events and being a vegan going to one?
It depends on the social event. For example, there was a Super Bowl party that I went to at a friend's, and I knew I was going to be the only vegan there. So I actually brought some chili with me, and it was really delicious.
You made it?
No, I didn't make it. I didn't make it. It was from our, friend Bam's Vegan.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I got what you're saying. Okay, cool.
So yeah, I had I ordered Bam's. I had leftovers.
We love Bam's Vegan, by the way. It's so delicious, and if he wants to send us some free food, we would definitely enjoy it. Go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, I had some Bams left over and decided this would be great to bring to this Super Bowl party with my friends. The thing is, I know these people very well, and I know that they have no it wouldn't bother them that I'm there eating my own thing. Like I can heat it up in his microwave, which I did, and then people were curious or like, "What are you eating? It smells good."
So was it enough for everybody, or was it just something for you?
It was just me.
Oh, okay. Listen. So you just brought your own food for you.
Listen.
All right.
Okay. Like I said, it depends on the event.
Okay.
If it's like Thanksgiving, for example, like a few years ago during Thanksgiving, my first or second Thanksgiving as a vegan.
Okay.
I brought a handful of dishes for my family that I made, and they were vegan, and they tried it and they liked it.
Okay.
So there's definitely that aspect of it, especially if there is a potluck type of event with mixed crowd. You can always bring something, and I like to cook. You like to cook. We're pretty good at cooking, so that you can be satisfied with what you bring, and that even if you share it with other people, that you can probably assume that they would like it too, because we know what we're doing in the kitchen.
Right.
But so in terms of those potlucks, I like to bring something, and I might bring a little extra just to make sure that I can save some for me on a plate. And then everyone else can have, the platter.
Because that's the most annoying thing. If you vegans, our food as non-vegans, this is for y'all. As vegans, our food is scarce. You hear me? So when we go to y'all's house, when we go to a party and we bring something, yes, y'all can try it. You're very welcome to try it. You're very welcome. But we need to eat too. So that is our food source. And so.
Yes.
So no, I like that. I like that, like bringing your own thing, and obviously, if you have more, or if it's like a bigger event, and you're inviting people or whatever, definitely bring more for other people as well. What about like restaurants? What about like you're going to a place? Are you looking ahead? Do you not go because it has no vegan options? Like what is it for you on that?
I'm definitely researching it ahead, just like you do. And you can get very creative with it. I might ask for one of the entrees without XYZ, like no cheese, or potatoes are always a winner. Every restaurant has potatoes most of the time.
Cheat code.
Yeah. So I always order a side of potatoes, whether it's fries or if it's a breakfast place, like they always have like side of potatoes. Just depending on how strict you are, because there's levels to that as well. If you are somebody who wants to make sure that it was cooked in a different pan, or if you're particular about did they use like butter or margarine, or what kind of oil did they use, or if you want to know the ingredients, you can ask. It all depends on your just how you want to communicate. There are some people who, and I'm one of these people who I just really don't want to bother people too much. So I'm okay with making an assumption. I'm okay with assuming that this bread that I'm ordering at this restaurant has no eggs. Maybe it does have eggs. I don't know if the rolls have eggs, but I just don't feel like asking them at every single restaurant if they have eggs in the rolls. And I don't feel like that makes me a non-vegan.
Right. Yeah.
But I think it's also perfectly fine to ask, and I think people. It depends on just how much confidence you have with this type of communication, and not really confrontation, but just kind of like self-advocating. Mm-hmm. So I think it's perfectly acceptable, in my opinion, to be that, you know, slightly bothersome person that asks what is in whatever menu item that's there.
Yeah, you're definitely not. I you know, working at a restaurant myself for about a year or two, but like people asking what's in your food, there's nothing wrong with that. And like the servers, or I was, you know, more like a host / server, but like we would go in the kitchen and we would see, I asked the chef, hey, what is this, what is that? So like I understand that as well. Like sometimes you don't want to bother people, and you don't want to go through the hassle, and like, hey, I'm not ordering a steak, I'm ordering bread. And you know, typically bread doesn't have non-vegan ingredients, and sometimes certain breads do, but sometimes they don't. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it's you know, I just want bread. You know, I just want some sustenance. So in my stomach. So, but no, I get that as well. And yeah, social events to me, it's definitely that. It's definitely like, I know if I go to this place, I may not. I've never. I have brought food once to like a watch party, so that was cool. And to my point earlier, it was very much eaten all up, and I luckily was able to eat some before it was all gone. But at the same time, it's like if you are going to like these social events, to me in my mind, it's just like, all right, you'll go and you enjoy yourself, fellowship with your people, your circle. But if you want to eat, and like, to me, like if it's going to be dinner or for something like that, I'll try to plan for that later, or at least I'll try to eat before I go to the social event. So that way, if I do eat there, it'll be like little snacks. So it's not necessarily just me starving, my stomach growling while I'm talking to people. So yeah, it's social events. It definitely does depend, but in my mind, it's always like, hey, just don't expect there to be like a buffet here for you. This is not for you right now.
Yeah, because there's times, especially for work functions, where you're like you almost feel like you can't skip out on it, right. And if there's nothing for you, you have to eat ahead of time. And you sometimes will go, and I'm the type of person who doesn't like to draw attention to himself. So when I'm at this event and I ate ahead of time and I'm not eating, I'll always get the question, "What, you not hungry?"
Right.
And then
eat this. This is good.
Right.
Like a cheese popper or something. Like, no, thank you.
And it depends what kind of mood you're in, I think, most of the time, on whether or not you feel like explaining yourself.
Yeah.
Like, with how much detail.
It's always that. And it's always like, listen, like and that's kind of like the whole social aspect, right? Of you want to kind of be merry and like offer things to people, and hey, there's food here. Hey, have this, have that. And that's understandable, that's pretty much almost all cultures of just like food, socializing around food. And so when you're vegan and you can't necessarily eat the food that people are socializing around, it becomes a little awkward, and it puts a little kink in the socialization a bit. And so it gives you that hesitation of saying, I don't know, should I explain myself here? Should I make it a whole thing? Because it's not me making it a whole thing. It's them going to make it a whole thing of saying, oh, well, maybe you can eat this cheese stick. No, I just told you.
Yes, I know I can. I've already done, and they're just trying to be helpful.
No, yeah, absolutely.
But I've already done I thought about everything you're about to say.
I thought about every option right now.
Yeah. Do you think it's important to support restaurants that are not vegan but have vegan options? And does that take away from vegan restaurants? And I'm only asking because I feel like those are the type of restaurants that are useful for us in these types of social situations.
Yeah, so I don't know necessarily like if I support them. So if there's a restaurant that does have vegan options, like obviously that's I'm going to eat that because that's the only thing there. And if I'm there, like if, for example, like if I'm going out with someone and I have an option in what I want to eat, then, and I'm thinking about their choices and I'm thinking about my choices, really, my choice is really, do they have one option that I can eat, really? So I'm kind of like just making sure that they're comfortable with, because most of the times, a lot of times non-vegans don't want to go to just a vegan place, and they sometimes will surprise themselves, and the food will surprise them. But at the same time, it's like, well, let's go somewhere where it's kind of like middle ground, or or there's something where we can both eat, or necessarily. So if I were to go to a non-vegan place, obviously I'll be eating that vegan dish. But as far as like supporting, like if it's just me that's eating, I won't necessarily just go to a non-vegan place to order a vegan dish. I would try to go to a vegan restaurant to order something, or like kind of, that's my support. Like my support is like, would I just order this for me? Or also like if I'm bringing something to a family gathering or something, I would go to a vegan place to order the food. And I think that's kind of in my head when you're saying support, I would support the vegan place over, the non-vegan place that has a vegan option or has multiple vegan options. What about you?
I'm kind of struggling with it because I like to do both, but if I had to choose, I would choose the vegan place. I want them to succeed for not just my benefit, well, mostly for my benefit, but
all for my benefit,
but for their, so they can thrive as well. But I also like to go to vegan restaurants that I know have a good amount of or non-vegan restaurants that have a good amount of options that are vegan. Like there are some restaurants or food places around here that half the menu is vegan, the other half is not, and most of them are like your healthier restaurants that have like the fruit bowls and the salad bowls and that kind of stuff. So I do like to support them, even though they're not by name a vegan restaurant, because I want to make sure that those options stay, and I want them to know that there's a demand for it, and then it would help with these social situations. But I also am conflicted about it too. For like I like Chipotle, but I saw, and Chipotle has a lot of vegan options for us, a couple at least, and I saw this thing, this post about like the chickens that were treated badly for Chipotle, and then in my mind I was like, well, I kind of don't want to go to them anymore. So it's difficult because they might have vegan options at this place, but if they're still doing if they're conflicting with the reason why you went vegan in other aspects in their non-vegan menu, then that kind of defeats the purpose. So I think it's important to just like keep up on the research of like that's the biggest power we have is our dollar.
Absolutely. I was going to say that. We live in a capitalist society where we vote with our dollars. And so even though like because that's definitely something I thought about too. Burger King, when they first came out with the Impossible Whopper, I was like, wow, that's great. Like what a actual vegan option, like pretty much anywhere in the country, like fast food national chain, like that's unheard of. Like what? And so like when it came out, and then they were like, well, it's not, well, we can't say it's vegan because it could be cooked on the same top, and you gotta put it in the microwave. And so like to me, at the same time, like I understand that there are vegan options out there produced by non-vegan restaurants, and and hey, $3. I don't mean to advertise them, but $3 Whopper on Wednesdays. I mean I sometimes do that. I sometimes cheap meal. I'm go to it, but at the same time, so we're voting with our dollars, and if Burger King is saying that, hey, people are coming by and picking up Impossible. Like, I'm surprised they still have Impossible Whoppers right now. To be honest with you, because they've had it like for at least maybe 5 years now, and that's usually when fast food restaurants come out with the vegan option, it's gone like a couple months later. So to me, it's like it is voting with your dollar, and even if it's at a non-vegan restaurant, you're still going there voting for that vegan option, which to me it says a lot more to the people, the owner, than it does like just going to a vegan restaurant where everything is vegan. But at the same time, like I do want to support, and you do want to support all vegan restaurants, and you know, and I do. But at the same time, like I said, like if you're going to a city an hour and a half out, there ain't no vegan restaurants. You know, I mean, out of the city, and I don't know where everyone's at. Chime in below. Give us a comment. Where are you listening to us from? Listening to us from? Yes. Please. Let us know where you are. But that being said, there's a Burger King everywhere, right? And there's Chipotle like almost everywhere in these big cities. So at least you know that there's something there for you, which makes it easier for people to go vegans as well. So yeah, it's kind of one of those pros and cons of certain things. But at the end of the day, you know, it's you're voting with your dollar, and you got to vote with your heart as well. So
there we go, mic drop on that one.
Oh, whatever. I can have a mic drop every episode.
If you're out with your non-vegan colleagues,
what was the topic? What were we talking about?
Social situations.
Oh, social situations.
Yeah. I was about to say, if you're out in a social situation with your non-vegan colleagues, and you've had some drinks and whatnot, and you're trying to get the munchies after.
Oh yeah,
Van Wooen or Insomnia cookies. Oh, yeah? I swear, like half of both of those menus are vegan. Yeah. So
cookies and what? Ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're gonna get plump.
Yeah. Or go to a nice.
Ain't no late night salad places, right?
We need that.
Yeah.
We need that. We really do. All right. Well, please chime in where you're coming from, what you do in social situations, some of the places you might like to go, and let us know if you think Alex should get a dog, because he doesn't have one and he claims to be a dog person. So
I like being around dogs. I don't want to own a dog right now. I don't know if y'all can hear that. That is definitely Ramona. So
yeah, she wanted to give her 2 cents. But, all right, thank y'all for listening. We will see you on the next one.
Peace.